Let me go to the French summit. Somebody has dropped something because they don't want it. And you are excited picking it. People who know somebody are saying this is a bad person. We want nothing to do with it. We are privy to the circumstances that made the French partners in Africa reject them. But here we are, very excited with dealing with the French. Together with this is the obvious fact of the relationship France has with Africans, for example. We know all colonial masters and these superpowers mean no well for Africa. Daniel Moi, president, used to tell us, hakuna mtu anaheshimu Mwafrika. We know that. But for France, it is in another league at another level. Those who want to argue with me, take a little time to look at the history of Haiti and the role of France in the mess that has lasted these years, more than 200 years, from around 1825, 1805, 1825 there. Terrible. So, France is not a good friend to have. It has shown and proved. Those who have stayed in France or worked there will also tell you a thing or two, which I don't want to mention here. But it is not a good friend, it's not a good partner, not somebody you want to be excited about having. That's the first thing I know. The second thing I know, we are driving in the reverse gear. We are driving looking in the rear mirror instead of looking forward. The world has changed. These sort of summits perpetuate the view that we are inferior. And like somebody has said, I think two fellows have said here, in fact, I shouldn't be speaking after I have heard from what Honorable Ikwas said. He said it all. What do we gain from these summits? Whether they are Sino-Africa Summit or whatever summits, they perpetuate the view that we are inferior creatures. We gain nothing. That's not to say Kenyans cannot do business with French. I hold the view as an individual. I hold the view that let governments create business environments for people to do business. About an American market, at most, America is 300 million people at most, perhaps. Africa, 1.2, 1.3 million people, billion people. Hillary Clinton was here in 2008 or 2007. She told us, look here, you people. You have a bigger market than Europe and America combined. At that time, the population of Africa was about 700 million. So this idea of being subservient, refusing to know our potential and our ability, we will continue looking weak, looking miserable, begging, because at the end of the day, it is Europe that needs Africa. Africa doesn't need Europe. Kenya doesn't need France. It is France that needs Kenya. And yet, we will be bending over backwards, breaking our backs, closing streets, jamming mobile, doing things because our French president is here. We have to stop this kind of subservience. If Africa is to rise, Africa must have the confidence to know that they have what it takes. They have the things that others want. They may want a bit of technology, a bit of knowledge from the West and China, but it must be on terms that leave our dignity as human beings intact. So for me, there's nothing to get excited about a summit like this nature. Human beings sometimes have a problem learning. The war Iran should taught at least a thing or two about these defense pacts, about bases. If this Iran war continued longer than it lasted. And if Iran had more stay power, the Gulf states were going to suffer in a very big way for the simple reason that they had American bases. If today you want to enter into a defense pact that will put other people's defense bases in your country, you think very hard. Because you've seen what can happen to you because of having other people's bases in your country. It is not something you just do as a team for money, as a master fund relationship we have with these girls. Something going forward, every country has to think hard about before they sign a pact that delivers bases in the country. It's very critical. So let me leave it there.
All right, nothing to get excited about with a summit of this nature. Dr. Duncan Ojwang,
yes, I apologize. I have figured out what happened. I apologize to the panelists and the listeners. So remember, even the Carrefour franchise is French-owned. Carrefour and other interesting business. By the way, it appears that even in most of the Anglo countries, French investment are replacing even the British. And so they are not coming in, they're already here. They're already here. For example, Carrefour that we love to shop in is their franchise. Maybe we didn't have that information.
Perfectly.
I think we are missing the point. The thing to address here, we are talking about good manners. And we are calling our leaders to order. Because this is our country. And we have given them leadership. Leadership does not mean the president. The president is not the leader. All these people are the leaders of this country. Where this country goes, like I've said, where this country will be in 100 years, 50 years, 20 years from now, is what Gachagua is doing today, is what Wamalwa is doing, is what Ruto is doing, is saying. Together they constitute what we call Kenyan leadership. And they are determining our future for generations to come. We are calling them to order. Collectively as people across various sectors, we are saying no, that is bad manners. Stop, all of you.